Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we're talking Coinbase IPO, ticker symbol COIN. As a disclaimer, this is not investment advice. This is just a research video that I put together, meant to be educational as well as entertaining. I'm going to drop us into a few different news clippings and articles. As of yet, we don't know the exact date of the IPO. However, it should be coming by the end of this month, which is March 2021. Thank you for your time. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Please enjoy.
There are about 1.8 billion people in the world today who have a cell phone but don't have access to any financial services. And what's really powerful about cryptocurrency is that it lets anybody, if you just have a smartphone and internet connection, participate in the global economy. I think a lot of us in the United States sort of take this idea for granted that if someone gives us money, it'll be in our bank account and it's not going to disappear or be taken away from us. And that's really a luxury that many people in the world don't have at all. And today only about 40 million people in the world have cryptocurrency. But this is just the very early days. And I believe within 5 years, 1 billion people in the world will have cryptocurrency, and it'll shift from this investment phase to the utility phase, meaning people actually using cryptocurrency to buy goods and services and transact in the economy. Cryptocurrency is going to be a great democratizing force for the world because it's going to level the playing field. I believe that access to financial services is a basic human right.
Coinbase announcing plans to go public via direct listing today. The cryptocurrency exchange also announcing its revenue has more than doubled in the past year, bringing in more than $1.1 billion in 2020 as popular names such as Bitcoin and Ethereum have surged to record highs. Beeks, what do you make of this valuation?
Well, it's interesting. So there is a contract. It doesn't trade for U.S. investors, but there is a contract that has been tracing what the Coinbase valuation would be. And it's implying roughly when it starts trading, it would be a $100 billion valuation, which is fairly eye-popping, frankly, because that would mean it is a bigger valuation than CME or ICE or something like that. So if that holds, it's interesting. The second part of that, which I think is interesting, is you now can actually, if you look at some of the exchange coins, like a Binance or something like that, you can start to have a real world traditional finance valuation start to creep into the crypto world.
Here's the question, though, BK. Dollar for dollar, Bitcoin or Coinbase?
Oh, Bitcoin, without a doubt.
Yeah, Jeff Mills.
And here's the reason is that
go ahead.
Yeah, equities are limited. Equities are limited on their valuations. Currencies are not.
Jeff, would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think if you want exposure to the space, you want to go into Bitcoin itself. And when I try to think about what the value of a coin should be, I mean, the supply is fixed, right? So you try to look at the demand side. I actually saw some interesting stats from ARK Invest just to try to game out what that might look like. And if you have 1% of corporate balance sheets allocated to Bitcoin, the price doubles from here. If you have 1% of institutional investors' portfolios allocated to Bitcoin, the price doubles. If they allocate 2.5% of their portfolios, the price goes to 200,000. So I think trying to understand how all those dynamics play out, it's important. And those aren't large percentages in terms of allocations, but those are big price moves.
Yep.
Okay, let's jump into this article from the Block. Crypto exchange Coinbase was behind Tesla's Bitcoin buy. And what led me to this article was my research into how Elon and Tesla purchased their Bitcoin. So without going thoroughly into the article, I was very interested in how Tesla acquired their Bitcoin, and it's coming to understand how Coinbase helped them buy it. So let's jump into it real quick. Coinbase, the US-based crypto exchange, has been helping large companies invest in Bitcoin. The Block has learned that Tesla is among Coinbase's deep-pocketed corporate clientele. Tesla made headlines earlier this month when it revealed a 1.5 billion Bitcoin investment, disclosing in an annual report that the purchase would help diversify and maximize returns on our cash that is not required to maintain adequate operating liquidity. Coinbase declined to comment for this report when reached. Tesla was contacted for comment but did not respond as of press time. So, similar to how Coinbase executed MicroStrategy's purchase, the order was routed to several over-the-counter trading desks, right? So not only Tesla, but also MicroStrategy. And I think it is safe to say that Coinbase is maybe the preferred brokerage exchange for some of these companies. And jumping into it again, the source who spoke on the condition of anonymity said that Coinbase's prime brokerage arm counts more than 5 Fortune 500 companies as clients. Coinbase is gearing up to go public this year. So it just makes sense for me to understand, right, how Coinbase, one, how they're making money and they are profitable, even if it is with high fees. And I think that that could be something challenged with competitors in the future. But for the meantime, Tesla, MicroStrategy, and major companies are using Coinbase to purchase their cryptocurrency. So I think by establishing a position with Coinbase, you are indirectly benefiting from the major players, the major purchasers of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So I just thought that it was very, very wise of Coinbase to help or at least be the brokerage arm for major companies purchasing their Bitcoin. So again, that's why I researched it. I wanted to know, how did Tesla buy their Bitcoin? They used Coinbase. So let's continue on. Okay, let's take a look at this article from Forbes. Can you make coin investing in Coinbase? This report aims to help investors sort through Coinbase's financial filings to understand the fundamentals using more reliable fundamental data and valuation of this upcoming direct listing. Revenue growth leads to profits for now. Coinbase stands out against recent IPOs due to the fact it actually generates a profit. According to Bloomberg, 85% of the companies that went public last year, excluding special purchase acquisition companies and REITs, were unprofitable. Coinbase, on the other hand, grew revenue by 139% year over year in 2020, and core earnings improved from negative $17 million to $317 million over the same time. Jumping into the article further, the firm's core earnings margin improved from minus 3% in 2019 to 25% in 2020, while its return on invested capital improved from minus 3% to 48% over the same time. This chart right here shows the rapid revenue and profit growth. Now, it is quite substantial to see the improvement from 2019 to 2020. And there have been various analysts that suggest that 2021 to 2025, and you can find all kinds of projections and price targets for this type of company. But since it's profitable, it's already generating a lot of buzz. It's already generating a lot of positive vibes in the investment community because it's one of those companies that, right, the article is just establishing it's profitable. And we saw last year, right, 2020, you didn't even need to be profitable. There's plenty of companies right now today that are not profitable yet are trading very, very high. So I thought it was interesting to check out the article. I thought it was interesting to check out just a chart like this, which is showing just crazy core earnings, and the revenue is just, it's sick. So let's move on. Okay, we're here on Seeking Alpha, checking out this article. Coinbase pass on the upcoming IPO at 100 billion valuation. So in my research, I'm also trying to see all sides of the IPO, and the author, in summary, talks about Coinbase sold shares on the secondary markets at a 100 billion valuation. Current market uncertainty is problematic for tech stocks with high multiple valuations. To hold off on Coinbase for now, as there may be a better buy in the crypto exchange marketplace. I'm just going to go through a little bit of the article, not too in depth. With the media buzz around Bitcoin this past year, does Coinbase's valuation at 100 billion make sense? Coinbase is set to go public via direct listing soon. In a recent report, Coinbase launched secondary shares selling on the NASDAQ private markets, with the latest 127,000 shares of stock sold at $374 a share, equating to a 100.3 billion valuation. The short answer is no. considering that it values Coinbase at over 76 times revenue during a very volatile period in the market. So, just real quick, I think that the author does a great job of highlighting and comparing what's going on right now. Currently, tech is selling off. There's a more of a transition into the Dow and more of the industrial sector, and so tech has been lagging in the markets. So it could be right here that he talks about, however, long term, Coinbase could be a real winner, especially if you are a big believer in Bitcoin. So as Bitcoin goes, perhaps that's how Coinbase goes, since more companies will be getting in on purchasing Bitcoin, such as Tesla and MicroStrategy and other companies. There's a lot more. There's other firms that are doing it. They're just probably not making it as public as some of these other companies. So I like the article. Again, I'll leave it in the show notes. I think that the author isn't giving a bearish case, just talking about perhaps just to be patient, right? This type of company is easy to get behind. It's easily excitable in the market. A lot of people will, I believe, be getting in on the IPO, but it is nice to also see an author come out with, a more calm approach, a more relaxed approach to this sector. So I think that the article, he does a great job of highlighting both sides of Coinbase. So let's move on. Real quick, we're going to jump into a little price action right around the time that Tesla buys 1.5 billion in Bitcoin, plans to accept it as payment. So we're going to jump into the Bitcoin price action. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the price action of Bitcoin relative to when Tesla made their purchase around February 8th. So we see from a technical standpoint that they made their purchase at a previous level of resistance from January 8th, right around the 40,000 mark. And then, it pulled back. It made a nice, what we would call a cup and handle movement. When it reached that level of resistance, it bounced and became a level of support, and kind of has been just surging ever since. And more recently, a lot of people that got in here were a little upset because of a nice pullback down to a little bit above a level of support. So now we see here that the low 40s has become the new level of support, to where it's currently at, making a new high today, touching $60,000. And moving forward, I think that it's safe to say that anytime these big purchases are made by companies, and if they're using Coinbase, that Coinbase stands to profit, of course, and so does the investor, the retail investor, the accredited investor, people that are investing in these exchanges that people are using to buy Bitcoin stand to profit, directly, indirectly, however you want to look at it. I think that it's safe to say that Coinbase is a safe company to use, right? And it's also perhaps a smart decision to invest in. And that is my research. Okay, I want to thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps people find my content. If there is another company, IPO, or an ETF that you'd like to see me research, just drop it in the comment section below. If you're interested in earning some Bitcoin, use my Coinbase link in the description below. All right, until the next video, y'all take care. Have a good weekend.